There's a YouTuber who's leading the way. Yeah. He's got a passion for all things nerdy. Dungeons and Dragons, his world's not blurry. From comics to movies, he's got it all. He's an Outpost nerd living in a geeky world with his lightsaber shining. He's a Star Wars swirl through galaxies and adventures. He'll take you there, take you there. He's an Outpost nerd, no one can compare. Nerd power, yeah, he's the king of nerds, catching out there.
What's up, my nerd geeks and dweebs? Welcome to another transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I am the nerd of the Outpost, and I hope everyone's having a good Friday and is getting ready for a great weekend. So, today's topic is who gets to say what art is? We live in a very critical world. Everyone's a critic, that old saying. But who gets the right to say what is art, what is good, what is bad? It's a very subjective thing. And I'm tired of when people disagree, when people don't like something, they get attacked. We can disagree, and both sides are guilty of this. I'm guilty of this sometimes, We go on the attack. We allow bad takes, these personal attacks. And a lot of times people don't say anything. What's that logical fallacy of there's one, I can't remember the name. You look it up. That's not what I want. That idea of just because someone claims to be an expert, that what's the one I'm looking? I'm trying to find it. That idea that just if someone claims, let's see, appeal to authority. That appeal just because someone went to school or has this job, and I'll get into this example, that their opinion is the end all be all of the entire idea of something. Hey, Kaiser, thanks for being here, though. Appreciate it. Don't work too hard, dude. There's so many times that critics will say something to keep the studios or the people in power happy. Okay, so you're a celebrity. Okay, I'm painting a picture here. You're a celebrity. Your job is, to act or music, and you're surrounded by yes men all the time. People who made you convinced that your shit doesn't stink. That this idea that you can do no wrong. Well, then you do a project and it's shit. It is garbage, like The Acolyte. Well, then you have critics who don't officially work for the studio. I say don't officially work for studios because and I'll give examples in a minute, critics get kickbacks. critics. Critics are like the doctors when it comes to pharmaceutical companies. They get the more they um, puff up a project or a medicine, the more kickbacks that the doctors or critics get. Critics will write just beautiful reviews of something of shit. They'll My granddaddy had a saying. He would always say, "I'm not going to sugarcoat shit and tell you it's cake." That's exactly what a lot of critics do. They try to paint up shit to make it look good so people go see it. Well, my thing is, decide for yourself. We live in an age of information. We have we have with our cell phones the sum of entire human knowledge, and we're some of the most stupid generations out there in history. It's the fact that these critics want to stay in the good graces of these celebrities and these studios so they can keep access to the celebrities, so they can keep getting invited to the parties, so they can get the best seats at the award shows, stuff like that. And a perfect example, we see I go a lot on this show about go to Rotten Tomatoes a lot. And here I think we can see just the distance between the audience and the critics. And let me share my screen. Here's an perfect example of that. Look at this. The Alkalite, if it didn't take already cemented canon and just destroy it, it might be a decent show. But look at this. We have 81% critics, a critic score. But the audience score is 14%. That is almost Velma season 1 levels. This is like Aragorn levels. Just the shit. And I want to read. Let me see if I can. Let me see where are they? I want to actually read. Let me do something real quick. Okay, here we go. That's the page I wanted. Oop. See, look, we're gonna listen. I'm gonna read some of these. Look at these critic scores, just like jerking off Star Wars. It is utterly ridiculous. What makes this show so fascinating? This is from Jericho Hato. I hope I'm saying that right. From the Asian Cut. Ever heard of that? What makes this show so fascinating is how resolutely it expands the galaxy, unearthing ripe narrative pathways that turn the franchise more towards science fantasy than science fiction. Okay. The Star Wars universe is from Martin Brown of Common Sense Media. I'm just going to read this one and go on. Star Wars universe greatest strength is its ability to jump from genre to genre while remaining true to the heart of the original film. The Acolyte is a murder mystery that draws inspiration from martial arts films. Yeah, but it's done in such a bad way. It just. Here's some top critics from Neil Justin, Minneapolis Star Tribune. I like this one. The sight of a lightsaber coming to life has become about as thrilling as turning on a table lamp. And that goes to the whole oversaturation of the franchise. But so we have these critics who both good and bad, but we don't need to listen to them. We need to to think for ourselves, decide if something that decide if you like something or not. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and it's like right there in your nose, and it won't come out. But that's the thing. The time of the TV critics, Siskel and Ebert doing their TV specials, or the newspaper critics, it's over. And speaking of newspaper critics, I'm going to share this, and I'm going to talk a little about this kind of. This is a book critic from the Miami Herald. A lot of people know Steve Gosney. He's a lawyer down around the Miami area he recently wrote a book called Death Penalty Desired. It's like a murder mystery, kind of erotic novel kind of thing. He used his experience as an attorney and what he has seen in the courts to write this, but that seems to fall on deaf ears with this woman, and it really ticked off a lot of stuff who support the arts, who support Steve, and she made it so political. And it's sad when you get when some of the comments that are posted on your post get more likes and hearts than you. Here's what I wrote. And like, again, I was mad. I was not happy that this woman used her gender to completely miss the point. I said, you are one of the reasons the arts and journalism is dead in America. You use the Second Amendment to hide and push agendas, which she's doing right there. If I'm ever in Miami, I won't use toilet paper, but I will use the Miami Herald to wipe the shit off my ass with, because that's all you're good for. And a lot of these newspapers, a lot of these older media types, they're going dead. Here's what Jessica Reloaded said. Let me click on that so I get my girl Jessica Reloaded. Check out her channel. It's fun. You're missing the whole point. This is what I said earlier. Steve was able to use his real life expertise in creative writing and publish a fictional novel. You actually distance as a conservative woman. Even I understood this and appreciated his work. Guess what? It's a great book. I've read it twice already, and it really demonstrates what happens around us every day. Women like you are precisely the reason I hate women. Now, this is Jessica herself saying this. Your insecurities showing women like you are the problem with society. And here's what she said. Women are sex objects in sadomasochistic novel written in February by an attorney who was just hired to train Miami prosecutors at Miami. See, and then the fact that she goes after him personally like this, and she wrote another one where she actually went at Jessica. Let's see. I don't know why I shut that off. She says she just listened to a video posted by one of Steve Gosney's top Rumble fans. He's the attorney that just hired at Catherine Fernandez Rundle to train prosecutors. She called me a bimbo, retarded. Yes. And the fact that she had to retweet this just to get more views, I find that sad when people retweet themselves. Perhaps we could get you as an intern. I could train you one-on-one. Mr. Gosney said it to this fan of his in the Rebel segment when he announced he'd been hired by Miami State Attorney's Office. Here I said, you're just embarrassing yourself in the fact that you have to retweet yourself so you feel important. You are not the arbiter of what's art or good, so please get a life and move on, which she needs to. Let's see. Haley will respond. She's an idiot and a terrible journalist. Can't wait for Megan Fox, writer, to have a piece about it. Yeah. Let's see. What else? A lot of people are just. These people don't create anything. They just criticize what is created by people. When the arts is just so important. It's so deep into someone's soul that when they create something and put it out there, they're putting their heart and soul out there on the chances it might be torn to shreds. And it's yes, it sucks. And that person has the right to say anything. I'm a free speech guy. You have the right to say anything, but you don't have. You have the also. You don't have the right to hide from criticism. That goes for Steve too. He has. They have the right. She has the right to criticize him, and he can say anything he wants back, short of actual harm. Not saying from like someone like halfway across the country that they need to be run over by a car. No, it's like I'm gonna go so and so go to where so and so is. Yeah, that kind of thing. See, let's watch reality check. This is from Miami-Dade County. These women make me ashamed to be from Florida. These kind of people make me ashamed to be from my state. But of course, you're in the one of the like liberal bastions of Florida. You're one of the. I think Miami-Dade went red, but for years before, it always went blue. I think it was Miami-Dade around the south. See, in Florida, the more southern you go, the more northern mentality you get. See, she says, women are sex objects in sadomasochistic novel by man hired to train Miami prosecutors. That's all she can fucking say. See, she's not going after she's going after Steve personally, like Steve's job. She's not going after the content of the book. She's not really going after what he's written. She's not going after the art. She's going after the artist. And that's what a lot of critics do. They don't go after the art. They go after the artist. They support the artist. They don't support the art. A lawyer who was just hired to train young prosecutors in Miami State Attorney's Office is a recent author of a rated R novel with sadomasochistic themes, woman as a transgender and as depicting women as sex objects and a transgender woman as as a Hebes and the Thing, exploring woman's desires for submission as she stands accused of being the infamous sex toy killer. The book blurb says. Okay. Steve Gosling was sworn in last week as a new hire for the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office run by Catherine Fernandez-Rundle. He was hired amid a slate of changes Rundle made in response to judicial findings and defense lawyers' complaints that some of her prosecutors violate the legal rules of criminal court. Gosling told a social media audience that the state attorney liked his passion for ethics. Okay, that is completely besides the point of the book. Appears that neither Rundle nor any of her top chiefs read Gosling's novel Death Penalty Desires, which is easily purchased on his self-named website or Amazon, which it has been discussed on his Rumble video channel and is listed on his resume. The state attorney office did not release documents requested. That's none of your fucking business. That's none of your fucking business. His hiring documents, job description, and salary Well, job description, maybe. Salary is none of your fucking business, lady. Gosney told the Miami Hammer that he doesn't condone sex-based violence and misogynistic thinking of his characters. He says the book illustrates his stance against the death penalty. It's a morality play. It's a commentary on society. It's a meditation on the system and how the system can go wrong in a myriad ways to convict an innocent person. And it's a tour through death row, he said in an interview. Yes, that's exactly what you need to do. You can't have a book with characters who just have one point of view. You stupid woman. Stupid person. You stupid hack. My Hammer. Exactly. They don't want to see these things. They want to live in a world where their views are not. Ricky Gervais said it best when he said, "What gives you the right to make you think that you don't have to live in a world where people don't disagree with you?" And this is exactly what this woman is doing. You're not disagreeing with her. You're not agreeing with her. Steve is not agreeing with her. He's using his experience in the courtroom, the cases he has seen, he has been a part of. He's using those experiences to discuss issues in the world today. Ow, I just hit my elbow on my desk. Flicked my arms around. In a statement when a state attorney spokesman, Ed Griffiths, said that the book was written while Gosney was a Florida Associate of Criminal Justice Lawyer member working as a public defender. The book was written less than 5 months ago. And he was doing that 5 months ago. A lot of shit changed. 5 months ago, I was working in the schools. I was teaching. But now it's summer, so I'm not. So what? A lot of shit changes in 5 months. A lot of shit can change in 5 minutes, 5 seconds. At the time of his hire, we were confident that he would be a valuable addition to our office in a special project legal appellate litigation support and training functions, Griffith said. When I asked about his fictionless novel, Mr. Gosney indicated that the key conceptual idea was to show what can happen to an innocent individual when the criminal justice system does not work. And how many times have we seen that over the years? Innocent men and women being sent away for decades or their entire lives. Steve is using a hyperbolic genre to talk about a hyperbolic problem. Gosney, 56, has experienced both criminal defense and prosecution. He served as a prosecutor for 6 years in Flagler County and spent the last 14 years in the public defender's office in Daytona Beach, where, among other things, he trained new attorneys. As a self-published author, Gosney sells a PG and a rated R version of his book. He has also written other books called Brucey, the One-Eyed Wonder Dog for Children, and a Christian-based handbook for individual freedoms. Hey, look at it. There's Gosney being sworn in. Bro, my wife and I adopted a kid, 2 years of waiting, and I got a phone call and went from childless parents. Yes, and that's what and this, I think she says about, 5 months he was doing something completely different. So what? So the fuck what? Here she's getting into the book. The Herald read the rated R version of Death Penalty Desire, in which a prosecutor frames the main character for her husband's murder as she is sentenced to death. The prosecutor is described as drooling as he imagines media coverage and a possible judgeship. There are people like that. Oh my God, that will just... I have experienced that. People just throwing people under the bus, wanting to destroy their lives because they feel that if they don't, that they won't... It'll hurt their chances of their goals. It's like people have this crazy idea that there's only that success is a limited commodity, and the more successful one person is, the less they will be. So they have to tear down that other person. This is exactly what this woman is trying to do. She is trying to tear down Steve Gosney just for the fact that she can write about this and hopefully get some publicity. And you know what? This is great advertisement for his book too. I haven't heard anything other than great advertisement for his book. The vast majority of the females in the book are described with vulgar disrespect by various characters and the narrator. There are violent sex scenes, including between husband and wife. Theme of men controlling or dominating women against their will are threads throughout the novel. Yeah, yes, that's exactly what she's doing. She wants, and that's exactly what a lot of people want to do. They want to tear down other people so that they can build themselves up. And I think that's the problem with critics nowadays. They're not honest. They aren't. They weren't honest. Half the Star Wars shit would have gotten like tomato critic scores of maybe 30-40% at the most, a majority of Disney Star Wars. But they're not. They want to tear down people who disagree with them to I'm like 2 episodes behind. I can barely stomach this show. I'm like 2 episodes behind. And that's why I haven't done like review videos. I did a review video of the first episode and it just churned my stomach. It just ugh. There are several grapes and essays. The murdered husband is found with a toy lodged in his booty. When the prosecutor views the crime scene photos, he is intoxicated by photos of a very unalive blonde woman. I got through 10 minutes of episode 5. Who else is in here? I got a couple other viewers. Come on, join the chat, guys. Everybody join the chat if you can, or at least say hi if you're busy. Yeah, I can't read these. I can't read some of what she says on YouTube without getting in trouble. But she can post this and as much as she wants because she has got the Miami Herald behind her. The book was written in a 10-day span in February, according to the website, but was drawn from a lifetime experience. The book summary calls it a murder mystery and law novel set in a world of kink and passion. Try not to draw conclusions about the author from the content herein. He's a lawyer. Lawyers deal with the scum of humanity, like the lowest of low, a lot of the times. And he worked pro bono in the state attorney's office. No, he did not pro bono. He worked in the state attorney's office. Of course, you're not gonna have really a lot of high class people come through there. I know, because I've had to work with state attorney's office a couple of times. One person is a guard who testifies for the main character. Listen to the pineapple. The pineapple is wise. The pineapple is good. Another inmate nicknamed for anatomical reasons as the eunuch, who performed a heroic act when he crashes the neck. Okay, that's her problem with the character. Yes, the problem with the character was a transgender inmate who tried to assault the main character. So the eunuch, sacrifices a major part of himself to save the main character. She's trying to turn the he-beast into this sad character that we should pity. No, absolutely not. The third female hero cited by Gosney is a defense attorney who serves as second chair to her husband. Hearing her words spoken confident by her husband in the court proceedings, and then takes over very capable when he's exhausted. She needs help handling the complexities of a death penalty case, so a male defense attorney is brought in, and he takes the job for the publicity and because he's sexually attracted to the client. Okay. This is reviewer knows nothing. She's so focused on the gender of these characters, of their identities, that she's just ignoring the story. The story ends with the framed wife being set free from prison. She's described as having grown personally while incarcerated and realizes a primal part of her yearned for a dominant master, a man to take control. The defense attorney, she realizes, a man being worthy being called daddy. She dresses in high heels that he brought her because she wants to make him happy. Okay, there are women out there who want to make their men happy. Why is that a bad thing? Why are these feminists so against that? They say, "Oh, we're pro women, we're for women." No, you're pro women for women that if they think like you, they agree with you. In the book acknowledgement, Gosling thanks his friend, including online followers who the counts names like Legal Vices. Yeah, Joe. And Let's Go Brandon. Gosling told his Rumble audience that he moved with his wife and son to Miami from Daytona Beach. He said Rundle's office crafted a position for him. Yeah, a lot of positions are crafted for needs, and attorney Rundle saw a need that she thought that Steve could fix. Are you kidding me? They've been looking for a defense perspective. Gosney said of Rundle's office on his Rumble program, "It's almost a dream job. They said we need you here. We'll make you an offer you can't refuse." Gosney said he'll be writing policies, offering his ethics perspective, training young prosecutors, and maybe being part of a prosecution integrity unit. Rundle did not announce the creation of such unit, though it had been requested by local defense attorneys. Gosling said his work focus is up in the air. "Everyone says Miami's great," he said on Rumble, "except for the traffic." Okay, let's read a little bit about Whaleman. Stupid whale. She joined the Miami Herald in 2023, so she hasn't been there that long. As an investigative journalist. Yeah, investigative journalism has been dead for decades. She's been a reporter in South Florida for 25 years and shared in the South Florida Sun Sentinels. Oh, yes, of course she's going to get a Pulitzer. She's journalist jerking journalists off. She grew up in Iowa and Oklahoma. Go back there. Brittany is yeah, of course she's a Gator. Fuck the Gator. That's right. She see, that's the thing. I think she was probably being cute. Thomas, what's up? I'm surprised I haven't been blocked either by this cow. Yeah, journalism wants bad ethics because it covers for them. They want to keep the status quo because it's good way. The status quo is making money. We have been, if you think about it, ever since probably World War I or II, where the military industrial complex has found that war is good business. We have been in a perpetual, all but probably 4 years, and I'll let you guess which 4 years I'm talking about. We have found ourselves in a war or one police action after another, and yeah, that was the first one I saw. Thomas, I don't have anyone blocked, Thomas. Yeah, this comment was the first one that came up in StreamYards. Yeah, it's just been Kaiser talking, really. Okay, so it's on YouTube, man. YouTube be an asshole. Oh yeah, it has been just bank since it, and that's why the I don't know why it would block me earlier, but then release the messages. I have 2 instances open, one each screen to see if I'm being blocked because it just doesn't show up. Yeah, that's weird. YouTube is an asshole. Okay, yeah, try that, Thomas. Maybe it's just glitchy. It's so like, who gets to? Why does she think she can? Is the arbiter of what's good or not? She mainly focused on. She gave very little about the book in her review. She mainly focused on the fact that Steve is a lawyer who is going to be working in Miami to better the ethics of the Miami State Attorney's Office. And that is a bad thing. How? You know, it's people like that who criticize, not create, that I cannot stand. And I love that saying. I came up with that saying earlier. Be someone who creates, not criticize. If you don't like something, go create something that you will like, that you will enjoy. And so, just because she thinks we have to agree with her. It says that she is a graduate of the University of Florida. War Eagle. I'm an Auburn fan, so screw Florida. And so that tells me that she is. Instead of maybe anyone doing criticism should consider if it's constructive or just destructive. Exactly. Yes, there are different types of criticism. Thank you for bringing that up, Thomas. I like that. There is constructive criticism. It's more of how it's like, hey, I don't like this, and maybe you should maybe try this. Maybe try that. And I love creative criticism. It allows me to have different points of view shown to me in a way that I can better what I'm doing. Destructive is just you suck, you're shit, you need to go Minecraft yourself. That's and it seems like with this article she's trying to push an agenda to get Steve fired from the state attorney's office. I'm seeing that liberal kind of attack machine trying the wheels just trying, and I'm hope state attorney Rundle down there stay strong because Steve is a great guy. I've listened to his shows. I've listened to him on other on like Ricadas and his shows and Vices and all of them. He's got a really amazing perspective, and this is what the book is. The book is from the perspective of that he's experienced in the courtroom, in the court system, of how the court system is broken and how the court system is sexist between the genders. Also, try to only criticize one thing at a time. So never do an article that criticizes the work and then shift to take. And that's exactly what she did. Both can criticize, but when I see more than one aspect is just meant to be destructive. Exactly. As a resident YouTube LawTube adjacent movie and entertainment guy, same. I'm always trying to push for how we can make pop culture better. It used to be a juggernaut, now it's a money sink, and that's exactly what it is. A lot of these movies, they're making money, but the ratio between a movie's like recently a movie's budget and the box office, they're higher numbers, but the percentage of what they're making back is just not it's not. They're making less money per capita than they used to because they're spending more to make these movies, but they're making more but spending more. I don't know if that makes sense. I found this clip from one of my favorite shows that we're going to talk about. Then I'm going to okay. I think it also doesn't help with the invention of social media. Oh hell yeah! Like if I read right, like one episode of Acolyte cost more than the entire season of Obi-Wan. She let her personal venom come through. It seems showing it as a mean to just destroy something so they can devour a tiny aspect, meaninglessly leave the world worse after they pass through. Yes, what do these critics contribute to the world? They don't do anything. Okay, take your favorite movie from like 5 years ago. Does anyone remember the reviews? Does anyone remember what these critics say? No, you don't remember the critics. You remember the movie that you loved. One of my favorite movies as a kid, and it was universally panned by both critics and a majority of the audience, but to a little 6 or 7-year-old nerd, it was fun. I loved it. My mom used to take us about once a month to Blockbusters. That's how old I am. I went to Blockbuster as a kid, and I would pick this movie every time. So much so that eventually my mom had to say, "Enough, pick something else." I love the Super Mario Brothers movie. I loved it. It was one of my favorite movies. The critics hated it. The actors hated it. But to me, I loved it. It was fun. It was a time before you knew John Leguizamo's politics. And some of my favorite actors, I don't know who they'd vote for dog catcher, let alone president, because they don't talk about it. Reminds me of the difference between someone who camps leaving no trace other than thinning species and that had been getting too thick for their food source versus the camper that you not only know their exact path but want candy and chips and they've had for all the trash they leave behind. This ends up resulting in a whole species possibly being wiped out instead of helping preserve them. See, I was a Boy Scout. I did about 3 years of Scouts. And that was our policy. Leave the place cleaner than you found it. Per episode, The Acolyte cost about $22 million today. In the mid-2000s, Game of Thrones averaged about $25 million per episode, but the quality was insane at double the length. Plus, Game of Thrones, they filmed in some exotic locations too. So, yeah, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk during most of the filming of the movie. But to me, I loved the movie. I loved just the take on the video games that I loved. And Bob Hoskins, loved that him. He was such a great actor. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is still one of my favorite movies. I think the real issue is the way of thinking that is responsible, like a mind virus that caused BlackRock to start doing what they do, as well as her way of attack writing. Yeah, I think she sees it as like, and a lot of people on this left, they see what they do, the violence and these groups that are out there posting. To them, violence, they see it as okay since it's in a righteous cause. Violence is a key corner to any righteous crusade. And that's what a lot of these groups are saying to themselves. A lot of these people, she probably thought, if this is my moral obligation to bring to people's consciousness this book and this bad lawyer who's going to be making policy in my town. Oh yeah, Roger Rabbit is the greatest of all time. Except it not only in the story, but in the filming techniques for the early 90s, the blue screen, oh my god, and the fact that both Warner Brothers and Disney came together to make this movie to allow the different characters. Like when Bob Hoskins' character is falling through the sky, who appears beside them with in parachutes? Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. You see all these characters from these different studio franchises, these mega corporations, these amazing characters, and they're together. And you didn't see it before, and you haven't seen it since. Roger Rabbit was such a good. Oh my god, it's just amazing. But you know, so what other types we've talked about writing? What other types of art? Let's get into types of art a little bit. I want to go through these a little bit. Let's see. Get types of art. Yeah, it's a narrative. I love that film noir murder mystery genre set in like the roaring 20s Hollywood. Love that. So we got abstract expressionism. This is one I like. I like Art Deco. Emerging in France before World War I, Art Deco exploded in 1925 on the occasion of the, I'm not even going to try to speak French, exposition of decorative arts, blurring the lines between different mediums and fields from architecture and furniture to clothing and jewelry. Art Deco merged modern aesthetic with skillful craftsmanship, advanced technology, and elegant materials. It's yeah, I don't want to get in the rabbit hole. Nope. So I'm gonna I've seen. Oh dang it! Why did I close that? Hold on a second. Yeah, Art Deco. Some of the most. It is so beautiful. Just the blending, the lines, just so to me just flow beautifully. And okay, I'm going to let me share this video. I'm going to share this. Share screen. Got that. Hopefully, I have the audio working. So I'm going to mute myself for a second. And this encapsulates to me a perfect example of art that people don't realize we experience in our everyday life. This is from a show called The Librarians, which I highly recommend. It's a great show. I'll talk about it another time on another stream more specifically. But the way he says this is just, it's beautifully worded. Amazing writing. And Christian Kane's delivery of this is he comes across his character's passion is he's able to push that across really well. Mm. Okay. Thank you, Kaiser, for letting me know. In this scene, he's talking about naturalism and the art style of naturalism and architecture a little bit. So I think I got this right now. I love that. Architecture is just, dang it. Okay, so don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have. Okay, so it's not muted. Can you hear me though? Let me know if you can hear me. Um, 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 um. This is okay. Well, it's a video file that I shared directly from my computer. Let's see. Present, share screen, window. Okay, I'm going to share the entire screen. Share. I'm about to play it again, Kaiser. Let me know. I had it checked. Can you hear it now? How about now? Can you hear it now? Did you hear it? Okay, that might be on your end because I'm as loud as I can get. It's got captions, but basically he's talking about how architecture is art that we live in. I have in my town we've had so many ugly box looking um apartment buildings pop up over the past few years. And it's just ugly. It's just plain. I'm like, who would want to live there? Who would want to pay $2,000-3,000 a month to live there? But it's okay. But yeah, oh yeah, Frank Lloyd, right? I've heard of him. I haven't looked at, but oh yes, oh wow, that's beautiful. I'll look into him some more, Kaiser. We art is everywhere in our lives. The it's the cornerstone of culture. Yeah, I'm looking at him. Oh wow, very. I can see like the use of curves and slants in his work, and just oh wow and just like they were saying in the video of naturalism, just incorporating it into the oh wow, it's incorporating it into the nature around the houses, like on top of like waterfalls, and it's like he built the house around the forests in some of these pictures. Oh, that is amazing. Use of curves and beautifully well done. Beautiful. Um, but like, oh, some of these I would love to walk through. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I'll talk about that another time. But like, yes, you need to know your math, science, your history, all that kind of things are important in schools. But the arts are taking what you learn in those core classes and putting them into practice. That is why we need the arts. We need to not just have facts thrown at us. We need to be able to take those facts and use them to express what's inside of us, to express our. I know this. I'm going to get corny a little bit for this, but we have to express what in our souls, and we do that through art. I had a math teacher in middle school who hated letting us band kids out for band music events. He thought he was one of those teachers that thought the world ended and began at his classroom door. He didn't care what you had going on in other classes or at home. He only cared about what was going on in your time with him. That's all he cared about. And he, like I said, he hated letting us out for band. And our band director told us this. He said, next time he says anything, ask him, what is music? Oh yes, I love Gothic style architecture. Those those amazingly crafted windows, arches, and towers. I've been in the oldest cathedral I've been in. I think was maybe 100 years old, and it was down in Mexico. But this teacher didn't realize music is math. Music is basically division. You're given a set amount in the time signature, and then you have to divide. You divide. You d- mu- you divide to make room for your notes. Music is the eternal universal language. It's the reason Steven Spielberg chose to use music to communicate with the aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Well, music is math. What is painting? The arts. It's chemistry. You have to blend a certain amount, certain percentage of colors to get the shade you want. What is singing? It's muscles. You're breathing from your diaphragm. You're using your entire chest muscle. Okay, get this. This is what I learned through my studies. When someone breathes, do this for me, guys. Take a deep breath and pay close attention to what your body does. You lift your shoulders when you breathe. A lot of times you lift your shoulders. I'm sorry, Thomas. Honestly, dude, it's not me because I do not know. It's got to be on the YouTube side, buddy. I'm sorry. Um, I'm sorry, Thomas. It's let me see something. I'm going to see. Let's 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 see. Your channels. Let's wait to see the chat comes up. Maybe it's StreamYard's acting up, and it's not. They're not coming through. Let me check the YouTube chat in the actual video. Come on. But while that's waiting to come up, this is what I learned. When you breathe, you lift your shoulders, and you're only getting the top portion. Okay, so I'm sorry, Thomas. I don't know what to do. It's not coming up on the YouTube either, buddy. But um, let me check the studio. Maybe something got messed up on my YouTube studio. Um, uh, let's see. I'll have to check that later, Thomas. I don't. Yeah, I mean, if I had you blocked, you wouldn't be coming in at all. So I'm sorry, but getting back to what I was saying, when I was studying my music, we can see you, but dude, we can see you some. We can see you. Yeah, we can see you sometimes. I'll check. I'll check my YouTube studio when I'm done and see if something maybe got tripped. Maybe I clicked something wrong. I don't know, but we can see you every once in a while. Yeah, Kaiser, we can. I can see him every once in a while too, but mostly it's just you I can see in chat. But getting back to what I was saying, when you breathe in, we're I don't know why, but as babies, we mimic, and we're this is what my music professor we studied a little bit of anatomy. We You lift your shoulders up so it causes you only to fill up maybe the first top quarter of your lungs. But when you breathe from your stomach, from your diaphragm, not keep your shoulders down, you you could feel your entire chest cavity fill up. And that studying that anatomy allowed me to become a better musician. It allowed me to have such an amazing sound quality that I had competition judges. Huh. I don't I'm I don't know. Have you that is I don't know. No, I haven't used any videos on alternate sites. The video I shared was downloaded onto my computer. I don't know. But I was using what I learned in anatomy to become a bit better musician. We studied the embouchure, the area around your mouth where you when you blow into the instrument. We so you use that in music in band and choir. You use the things you learn. Hmm, hmm, sounds like a good idea. But it's just people don't see the art and beauty around him. One of my favorite movies was that Freddie. What was his name? He played in The Good Doctor. Um, Freddie Highmore, who played in it was a Freddie Highmore movie called August Rush, where he's able to hear the music around him, the music in nature, the music in the city, and he uses it to create this beautiful symphony that allows him to find his parents. Great movie, but people don't realize the that music and the art that is around us every second of every day. It's like I have a water bottle right here beside me. It's Dasani. It's one of the larger Dasani bottles, and it has this wavy blue design, and and the Dasani, the S is just this big swoosh. Someone took the time to design this. Yes, yes, it's that ad hominem fallacy of just because someone has the education and the the learning that they're automatically correct. Yeah, it's the whole world's out of balance, especially um, in the coming months. We're gonna be it's things are gonna be getting way worse, I think, in the coming months, if you catch my meaning. But I'm gonna be going about this an hour, so just a few more thoughts before I shut this down. Thanks, guys. Thanks, more Andrew, Thomas. Thanks for Kaiser for being here. Just take the time. Where I live, I will go disconnect for about half an hour. I'll sit on the back porch and just listen to this music around me. Go listen to the music around you. Go look at the art around you. Next time you're driving, focus on the street, but look at the art around you. Someone designed those. An artist designed those cars. An artist designed those buildings. And next time you don't, next time you're critical of something, next time you want be maybe people need to learn to be a little more careful of what they say. So just take the time, smell the roses, listen listen to the listen to Mother Nature. Listen to the music of the world. That's why I love, like, in Narnia, when Aslan created Narnia, he didn't he didn't build it with a hammer and nails and stuff like that. He sang the world into existence. In Middle Earth, the gods sang the world into existence. Music is a time machine. Music, it moves you like no one else. Music is a medicine as well. So many people, a coma patient, if listen to music, they have music played, parts of the brain will just flash. It is absolutely amazing. Yes, we need to disconnect and just exist. Go touch grass. Yeah, Wookie, get the hell out of your house and go touch grass. And I gotta do some. I gotta do some. Speaking of grass, I gotta cut some grass today, and I hate cutting grass. If there's a personal hell for me, it'd be mowing a never-ending lawn of grass. But thanks for coming in, Wicked. I appreciate you coming in though too. But you know, I have music. I have songs. Specifically have a playlist that takes me back. It takes me back to my freshman year of high school, which it was probably I had my the bestest friends. I had it was the best time I ever had. So get out there, experience art. Go go to a museum, go see paintings. Don't Google. I hate when people say just Google it. If I wanted to Google it, I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't want to. Googling is not the same as experiencing. We have strays in my neighborhood that we want to keep out, so I need to cut the grass. And it's a damn like incline hill that sucks. But I'll leave you what I always say. Thank you all for being here. Wookie, Morph, Kaiser, appreciate you guys. Find your passion, be it music, art, theater, sports, cars. Find your passion and nerd out about it. I'm the nerd of the Outpost. Love you guys, and I'm gone.
Lost in space, I found my place. In this outpost of silence, to my way. Binary code runs through my veins. With every beat and beep, I feel no pain. Signing off, it's time to go. Goodbye, my nerdy friends, see you later. I know through the stars we've shared this ride, but now it's time to say goodbye, farewell.